Hi YouTube, it's 5:25 in the morning. Just really missing Daniel. Just really missing him. I don't know what to say really. I seen him the other day in Droitwich. Come back from Maryhill. Caught the bus. I had to get the bus from Droitwich to Witchbold. We sat at the bus stop, me and Lee, and waiting for the bus, and saw Daniel come out of Hewitts, come out of King's Court, and yeah. I just saw him and sort of ran. I didn't run, but I sort of walked fast round the corner, away from him. And I thought afterwards, why did I do that for? I don't even know why I did that for. I wanted to talk to him, but I felt my anxieties get the better of me. And I just walked off. And Lee followed me. Pardon me. I wanted to ask him so many questions. Like, why doesn't he love me? Why does he keep leaving me all the time? I wanted to ask him loads of questions, but all I could do was run away from him. I've got a load of pictures of me and him in the lounge, but I don't know what to do with them. And I'll put his clothes in bags in case he wants them back, but he hasn't been round there. I just want to feel loved. I just want to feel loved. I still haven't got curtains for my windows, look. Still haven't got curtains for my windows. I keep meaning to, but I don't know, it's just, I don't feel the motivation to do anything, like, apart from just get out of the flat. That's the only motivation I feel, is to get out of the flat. And just, yeah. I'd like to stay more and do the flat up, but because the spare room still isn't done, it's still in a right mess. But all I feel like I can do is just get out the flat. That's all I feel like I can do, and just. I'm fed up of feeling used all the time. I'm just fed up of feeling like, I don't know, like shit all the time. My sister was getting annoyed on the phone earlier when I was chatting to her. She was like, how dare he keep breaking up with you? She was like, and I was like telling her, saying that he's saying I'm being childish by keep blocking him. And she was like, no, if anything, what's childish is you keep paying him for him on holidays. Because she says you do that for a child, you don't do that for an adult. She says you do that for you do that for a child, you don't do that for an adult. So if anything that's childish, it's me having to keep paying for him on holidays. My sister said. I don't know. I don't know. As I say, he doesn't understand me, and I don't understand him. I'm not the kind of person that's out all the time with their mates. I'm not that kind of person. I've definitely got mates, but I don't need to be clinging to them all the time over a relationship. He seems to need to cling to mates and put them first before anyone else, before partners, or I don't understand that, because when I'm in a relationship I always put that person first. I've even put them first above I've even fell out with my family in the past because I've put a partner that I've been with at the time, I've put that person above and beyond my own family. But it seems with Daniel, as soon as he's got mates, he's not bothered about me and just wants to be there with his mates all the time. And it wouldn't be a problem, but it was every single night. It was all the time. and I just felt like there were so many times when I was trying to sleep in that bed, and he wasn't next to me because he was with people. You know, I don't know what people it was, whether it was Jack, whether it was Halty, whether it was Morrissey, whether it was Josh, whether it was Ginge, whether it was, I don't know, but all them different people he was with, I just felt like when I was in that bed, I felt really lonely and just very sort of not needed and not wanted, and just very this is why I know I can't get back with him, because he would do exactly the same again. He's even told me when he's been in previous relationships, he's stayed out most of the night with his mates, smoking weed or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, he did actually say he was smoking weed with his mates, yeah. But that's not the issue though, is that I'm not really bothered about what he does with his mates. It's more about, well, I am, because in case some of them are gay or whatever, but I don't know. The weed doesn't actually bother me. I'm not really bothered that he takes weed. I'm not really bothered about them things. It's more, the issue for me is the fact that I'm ignored or pushed out or pushed away from him all the time. And that's the issue for me. So even before he owed me money, there was an issue. There was that issue around him leaving for these mates. And they're actually my mates before they were his mates. And it seems like they've sort of took over, because I feel very anxious now to visit those mates. Yeah. It's created a big rift, you know, when the ground opens up and everything falls into it. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's a big rift there between me and my mates in Droitwich. Because I don't know what Daniel's told them, but they definitely seem to be on his side. And it just feels like, you know, I don't know, I just feel like a total doormat, I really do. I just feel like I've just been used by him, and he's got what he wants. He's not in London anymore. He didn't want to be in London. His landlord, when he came up to Droitwich, he was going to stay in London till September, but his landlord chucked him out, and he come up in the June, I think. The beginning of June, I think, he came up. We was talking till about March or something, but he actually came up, he didn't come up till June. We was talking loads on Skype and FaceTime, mainly Skype, but and everything seemed fine back then, but that was before he come up to live with me, wasn't it? So he came up to live with me for a few months, and he started sleeping all day long, and I was getting bored because he was sleeping all the time, and I was finding it very annoying, because I wanted to do things like go walk up the Malvern Hills, or go to Worcester, or go to Birmingham, or whatever I wanted to do, but he was asleep a lot of the time. And as soon as I started disagreeing with him, whatever we was doing, as soon as we started arguing, he walked out and went to my friend Lee's, and he moved into Leeds 7 days a week, more or less. And that felt awkward, but it wasn't too bad because I know Lee very well. But then obviously there was problems there, and obviously it made it difficult for me to visit Lee when me and Daniel argued. And Lee's support workers weren't very happy with Lee being there all the time. Plus he was borrowing money left, right and centre off Lee. For weed and tobacco and fags. I just don't know how to just just seems like I've let him just walk all over me for such a long time that and then when I started trying to visit Lee, he started going off to Redditch, and because he's got friends in Redditch, family friends that he's known for a long, long time, since he was a child and since they were children. So he was over in Redditch, and I started panicking because I didn't know where he was in Redditch. I didn't know what he was doing in Redditch. I just knew he'd gone over to Redditch at friends, and I'm not even sure whether he told me that. He just says he's off because me and him are arguing, so he's going to Redditch. And I think that was the first time I started blocking him because I started panicking that he was cheating on me, and that's when it started going downhill properly by that stage. And that was only like maybe a couple of months into the relationship. But I did start to relax a bit when he came the second and third time that he went off to Redditch, I did start to relax a bit, and I started to go with him to Redditch, in Abbeydale in Redditch, and pardon me, and that was alright. That was quite good, but and then in London he told me to F off back to Birmingham, and he never wanted to see me again. I don't really know what the reason that was for. He was just really, really talking down to me in London, really, really shouting in my face in front of his family, and just I just really don't get him. I just really think, I don't know. This year it went downhill worse because I lost the house on Hanbury Road because the landlord put the rent up quite substantially, and Sarah, who was the housing lady at Our Way, she's left now, but she was there for 2 years, and and she helped me to get this place with Fortis, but there was no carpet down, there was no painting done or anything, and I struggled with that because I'd always had someone do it for me. When I lived in Birmingham, my uncle used to do it for me, or I had family members who did it, mainly my uncle, and this was the first time I'd moved into a place where I didn't have any help, because I've always had help in the past from support workers or from family members, and it was a big shock to just see a flat with like bare floorboards. So that stressed me out, and I actually moved into Lee's at King's Court, and Daniel was already there. He'd been there for about nearly a year by that stage. So I'm trying to work out where it went wrong. You see, that's why I'm trying to cover it in depth. What happened between me and Daniel, because I'm trying to work out where it went wrong. I moved into Lee's. Lee says he didn't mind. I was only going to move in for a month until I got the place done up. But then I wanted to come over every day to do the painting, but Daniel says, "Oh no, let's go over the next day, or the next day, or the next day," and then it started to drag out for months, and it just. At that stage, he started going up to UMH's, which was nice. That was nice at the beginning, but it was the going up there till 3-4 in the morning that I found disturbing for me, because I like to cuddle up in bed with my partner and just I just found that very hard to deal with, very sort of lonely, and it caused arguments again between me and Daniel. It also stressed Lee out, because me and Daniel were living with Lee, and it stressed Lee out so much that Lee had like a breakdown, and he ended up moving to Redditch, and he had an even worse breakdown in Redditch, and now he's moved into shared lives in Malvern, but he's hoping to move back to Droitwich in another shared lives property. The social worker said that they moved him out of Droitwich, although Lee did want to move to Studley for quite a while, but they said that they wouldn't move Lee, even though Lee really wanted to come back to Droitwich. They said they wouldn't move Lee back to Droitwich because of what was happening with Daniel. Because at that stage he owed Lee around £1,000, and now I think it's £1,150, something on that figure, that Daniel owes Lee. Yeah, so I just didn't feel loved. That was the problem. I just really didn't feel loved. The constant wanting money every 5 minutes just made me feel very unloved. And then there was the constant disappearing on the night time, and it just made me feel very unloved. And just Lee's social worker moved Lee to Malvern, and then changed the locks on Lee's flat in Redditch. So I was stuck more or less to finish this flat off, and Daniel disappeared to you and Rachel's, and just I really try not to think about all this because it just makes me really angry with him. But it seems to come to a head every time I'm trying to sleep. It seems to play over and over in my head. It just seems to play over and over again in my head. That why did you put with all that for so long? Why did you allow all that to happen? Why did you not put your foot down and walk away from the situation? I don't know. I honestly don't know why I didn't do those things. So it's New Year's Eve now, 5:50 in the morning, and I'm throwing a party here tonight. Yeah, because it's New Year's Eve tonight, and it'll be the first time that I've done a New Year's Eve party on my own. So I am actually looking forward to it though, because I've invited friends round, friends I haven't seen for ages, but you know, I just I'm just thinking why it went wrong with me and Daniel. Well, I think I know why it went wrong. It was a mixture of things, but anyway, I'm coming off now because I don't know what else to say.